Hello everybody, welcome to my trivia channel from here in sunny but cold Yorktown, Virginia. November 2nd, 2020. Wow, yeah, we said Halloween. And today is the anniversary, this is an interesting story, of the first commercial radio station. If you've listened to a lot of radio over the years like I have, and Dad and I used to listen to baseball games and so forth, but the first commercial radio station ever, it was KDKA in Pittsburgh, and by the way, it's still in existence today. And it's an interesting story because, well, let me ask a question first. What year did it begin? Was it A, 1915, B, 1920, C, 1925, or D, 1930? Okay, and as always, I'll give you a few seconds to pause and spoiler to give away the answer. Okay, the answer is B, 1920. So today, yeah, the 100th, this is exciting. Today is the 100th anniversary of commercial radio stations. I really haven't, everybody's so busy with everything else going on. I think you could Google it and you wouldn't find much on it. But it's kind of an interesting story. See, Marconi got the patent for the radio in 1896, and then Farnsworth got the patent for the television, I think, in 1930. So 34 years difference there. So, but for those first years, from 1905 or so to 1920, they didn't have radios. They had what we call ham radios. They didn't have a commercial before they had radio stations. And a guy named what was his name? I think it was Dr. Frank Conrad. I try to memorize as much of this as I could. I don't script these, but yeah, Dr. Frank Conrad. He was a ham radio guy, and he would play records on his ham radio for friends. Christmas songs or things like that. Pretty cool, huh? And I think it was Westinghouse came up to him and said, "Hey, can you do this as a business?" And he said, "Okay." And he came up with the name Commercial Broadcast. He actually invented that name. I mean, who knew? And they started out, it was huge immediately. People loved it. And literally 6 years later, 1926, there were 600 commercial radio stations. It went from 0 to 600 in 6 years. And in fact, in less than 2 years, they had advertisers paying already. They needed the advertising money. So it all happened literally the first half of the 1920s. So it just must have been exciting. Must have been really exciting. And then television came along. But even then, I mean, heck, I remember when we got our first color television, and that was, before that with black and white. The color television was, around 1970. So radio had a pretty good run, even though television came along right away in 1930. Television didn't really become big till the 50s. So anyway, that's it. I thought it was all pretty interesting. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the next question. Goodbye.